start taking a look at a review of the things that we learned during this 9-week period because we've got an end of unit test coming up at the end of the week. So let's take a look at, first and foremost, PMDAS. It's where we started off our year, and a lot of us struggled with it at the very beginning, and it slowly started to make sense as we went by. So let's just review how to do some of these problems. Okay, so first one, taking a look at this problem. So I've got 4 times 3 minus 6 plus 2 divided by 2. Okay, first off, if I was simplifying this down to something easier to see or solving it, first thing I would do is I would write down PMDAS so that I remember my order. So we have parentheses, then we have multiply and divide, then we have add and subtract. Now, if you notice, I did this the same way I did it in class that whole time. I put spaces in between these because parentheses is the first group of things that need to get done. After that, then I do either multiply or divide, whichever one comes first when we read the problem left to right, and then the adding and subtracting at the end, again, whichever one comes first, going left to right. Okay, so these things are grouped in those 3 steps. So I have step 1, 2, and 3. So when I look at any expression, which is the same thing as an equation except no equal sign telling us what it equals. So if I look at this expression, first step, parentheses. So everything inside of this parentheses needs to be solved first. Now, when I get inside of parentheses, one of the big mistakes that people made at the beginning of the year is they just said, all right, I'm in parentheses, get this stuff done. But when you're in parentheses, you still have to follow PMDAS. So when we look at this, I'm inside parentheses. So now that I'm inside the parentheses, I'm going to go through the 3 steps again. Are there any more parentheses inside of this? No. Is there any multiplication or division? Yes, right here, there's division. So that becomes my first step. Now, if you notice, I'm modeling it the same way I did before. I like to underline, here's the part I'm working on. Then I solve this part. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Now I'm going to rewrite the entire equation so I can see what's going on. Lazy people don't do this and they make lots of mistakes. So I didn't do anything with that part. There's still stuff in the parentheses I haven't used, so I'm going to keep the parentheses. 6 plus, and now I have that 1. There's nothing left because everything underlined has been taken care of. That's what the 1 is equal to. So I just need to end my parentheses. Now, this is the equation I'm looking at now. I don't even care about this top one anymore. I've simplified it to this one. Now, PMDAS, are there any parentheses? Yes, that's the first thing that gets done. So notice when there's only one thing in it, I kind of get all of it right there. So I'm doing this whole piece right here. So 6 plus 1 is 7. And again, we always have people who are lazy and don't want to rewrite it. Just rewrite it. It's so much easier. So I didn't do anything with the 4, the times, the 3, and I haven't done this subtraction symbol yet. Everything inside the parentheses is done. There's no more operation symbols, so I don't bring the parentheses down. So now I have this equation or expression, 4 times 3 minus 7. So again, new expression, go back. Are there any parentheses? No. Is there any multiplication or division? Yes. So that gets done next. Here we go. 4 times 3 is 12. Carry down everything I haven't used. I didn't use the subtraction symbol and I haven't used the 7. I only have one thing left to do, and that's 12 minus 7. 12 minus 7 is 5. All right, and this one is solved. I'm done. There are no more symbols in there, so there's nothing else that I can do with this. This is as simplified down as I can get it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead in a second and do another one, and we're going to do it doing the exact same strategies. Okay, so I want to make sure that we see it's always this exact same set of strategies. Parentheses first, multiply and divide, whichever one comes next, then adding and subtracting, whichever one's in there. Okay, so make sure that when you're doing these, rewrite your equation. You're going to get it right far more often. Okay, so give me just a second to restart it. All right, so continuing on through the magical use of editing, we've got a brand new problem. Okay, again, same first step. When we look at it, write down PEMDAS. It makes it easier. You don't forget things. You make sure everything's grouped correctly. All right, so looking at my expression, parentheses. Are there parentheses? Yes. Then that's the first step. 5 plus 2 is 7. All right, well, I forgot my little arrow down. All right, so that's 7. Drop everything we haven't used yet. All right, and there we go. So now I have that step. Here's my new expression. Look, is there any parentheses? No. Now it's multiply or divide, whichever comes first. So there is multiplication, but look, when I'm going from left to right, this division symbol comes up first. So that's what gets done first. Okay, we put the multiply and divide symbols together because they're both grouping symbols, and it's just whichever one comes first. Division came first, it gets done first. So this would be 4, drop what's left, times 3 plus 7. Now when we look at it, same process. Parentheses, no. Multiply or divide, yes. There's a multiplication. So there's my 12, drop the plus 7. Now I only have one step left, so I don't really have to worry about the order. 12 plus 7, and that's 19. Okay, so it's very simple steps. The operations generally aren't overly difficult. The biggest thing is watch your order, okay? Make sure that you're rewriting the expression each time. If you stop halfway, like you rewrite it one time, and then you just think, I'm going to do the rest of it in your head, it's probably where you're going to make a mistake, okay? Rewrite it each time. We do one step, then rewrite everything. One step, rewrite everything. One step, rewrite everything until you've made it all the way through it. Okay. All right. Good luck. There's a few problems to practice. Try them out, and hopefully everything will go well. If not, make sure you stop off at office hours because we're getting tested on this soon.